Hello there and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over Friday the 13th part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Anyway, so I actually really thought this movie was going to be completely different from the way that it is. I think the title is a little bit misleading, but it definitely has a lot of gory fun kills in it. There is some subversion of expectations in it. It is a little controversial. It's not everybody's favorite. There are some people that really love it, and there are some people that really hate it. I don't particularly love it, or maybe even like it, but I definitely have a lot of interesting thoughts about it. So with all of that being said, let's get into Jason Goes to Hell. Okay, so right off the bat, remember in some of my other installments wherever I was talking about how like in the first one and the fifth one, and now this one, there's a couple installments in this franchise where Jason isn't really the main killer. Now, technically he is in this one, but it's his soul essence embodying other people, so we don't really get the classic Jason walking around. It's other people killing, but it's Jason's soul doing it. I really love the opening concept. I think that is brilliant. It's perfect. It's everything I wanted to see. I love how eerie it is and how classic it is. Him being there at the camp again, it was really, really cool. And you think that it's gonna start off by doing the same old cliche thing, and then out of nowhere, he's targeted by the FBI and the lights come up and they're all having guns on him and they're shooting him and they're blowing him up. I think a very similar concept should be done for Scream 5. Like, how cool would it be if like the opening scene is Sydney like catching a killer like in the act. Like, that would be really, really cool. I think Sydney Prescott should definitely be like FBI status or something like that, It would be like paying homage to like Carice from like Silence of the Lambs. Right off the bat, we get Jason being killed by all of these people and then immediately sent to like the research lab and the morgue and all of these other things, where the coroner ends up taking a bite of his heart. Now, I think that it's really creative and interesting to do the way of voodoo or whatever it is that's going on through here, spiritual possession, demonic possession. And I don't know if it's everyone's favorite Friday concept. Now, of course, there are so many installments by the time you get to this point, and especially after the chapter we've just had, you understand how it's like they're going new grounds, they're breaking new territory. Like, if you want to watch a movie where Jason's killing people at camp, it's like, hey, there's 6 movies where we do that, okay? Go watch those. So I really understand why they were doing that. However, it is a little off-putting for me because remember how I said I thought this movie was going to be different? So I legit and whole ass thought by the title and the cover of this thing that like he was going to go to hell. So when the opening is happening and he gets killed, I thought we were going to follow his soul, and I thought it would be like, I thought Kane Hodder would be like playing him with like the mask on, and like I thought it would be Jason in hell, like roaming around like in the depths of the fiery pits of hell, like fighting demons and slaying shit and figuring out how to like get out of there and like come back onto fucking Earth. And I figured like the last like half or like the last third of this movie would be him like resurfacing and like tearing shit up. That did not happen. I think this movie would have done a lot better if it wasn't a Jason movie. We were just talking about that concept with something else the other day. I think it was Halloween Resurrection. And man, like there's a really good thing that they're doing here, and it's really interesting, and the whole body swapping and soul thing like that. And it would have been perfect if maybe it wasn't in this lore, because this is not that it's not good, but it's so different, and it's setting up its own lore, it's setting up its own rules, it's setting up its own universe, it's setting up its own everything, that it's like, first of all, why wasn't he doing this before in all the other installments if this is possible? And then second of all, like that's what I mean, like it doesn't really feel like a Friday film. It feels like they're changing too much of the lore. They're adding too much to the Voorhees. It's like it's so different that it's like it literally should have just been its own other lore. I'm also not a fan of like the main information guy. I think his name was like Duke or something like that. He strikes me as very odd, and it's like we're just supposed to believe that he's just been hunting Jason for all of these years. And he has like this thing with like breaking fingers, and there are so many parts of this film that just struck me so odd that they were jarring, and it was hard to, like, I understand why people call this a problematic film. I think it definitely does have a lot of things going on. But I know from another aspect that there are parts that I enjoy. So it's really weird because it's like at the same time, I really like and don't like the same things about it. Like, for example, that worm or that gross little demon crawly thingy at the end of the movie that is supposed to be like Jason. It's weird and it feels out of place and gross and I don't like it, but like it kind of feels like it works for like the story that they're telling in this movie. It's very, 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 very confusing for me. Like I said, I thought this whole movie was gonna fucking take place in hell. Like, oh, excuse me for thinking that. I wonder why I did. You know, but you know, going through whatever I just watched and having all, it was hard for me to care about the people and the final girls when I'm so caught up in what the hell's going on. And there's not even really a final girl. I guess it would be like a final guy, kind of like trying to protect his daughter and whatnot. It almost felt like it was trying too hard to do and be and replicate Halloween, because there were so many like lores about like they go into it needs a sister and it needs someone of the same name and some this, that, and the other, and the way that he like falls over the balcony and keeps like disappearing. They're just like there's a lot of copied elements here that I'm noticing. And I definitely wish that they wouldn't have. I wish they would have strayed away from that and more into Jason. That being said, I really do like when he comes out. I think that's pretty much the best part of the movie, is when he comes out at the end and he's fighting everybody. It's the way it should have been. The mask is kind of like grown in his face. He's really grotesque, and I happen to really like his presence in this one, which is why it was a shame that the physical version that we love seeing of him wasn't really in there so much, you know, because it's a little hard to believe that these other people can embody Jason. But then again, I guess it's why it's to make sense as to why he doesn't really do this, because it's not something he wants to do. It's a temporary thing, you know, because like the bodies aren't withstandable for whatever he needs to do. I don't know, something like that. It was all a big thing, you know? I like eventually at the ending, whenever he does get sent to hell, whenever he gets that dagger through his heart and all the light beams and spirits start drifting away and dragging him down and all the hands come up. That's probably my favorite aspect, is the opening in this part, because it was just the most intriguing to me. And I, like I said before, really, really wish they would have done this earlier into the film, and like if they're gonna end it with him staying in there and they're calling it the Final Friday, drag him to hell and show me him being in there. I really, for whatever reason, wanted excuse me, my bad. I don't think it is though. When you name a film Goes to Hell, your audience maybe might expect someone to go to hell. Anyway, I really appreciated that he went to it at the end. I just thought that they were really going to show us, you know. So there are some parts of this that work, and there are some parts of this that don't for me. It's all there. It's another one of those fair movies. I absolutely love the part where Freddy's glove comes up out of the sand and drags his mask down. That is iconic, and it wouldn't even be another 10 years until we get a Freddy versus Jason movie. I think it's beautiful and brilliant foreshadowing, and I think it was a nice little nod and tie-in to the fact that I think it was like something like the Dream Warriors or something like that, like where Freddy has his whole like domain over hell and what he does with dreams and demons and all that other bullshit. So I know that a lot of people don't consider that movie part of either of the franchise. It's kind of like a spin-off or whatever it is that they do. And I don't think we're doing it as a part of this franchise. I still plan on doing it eventually, but we're pumping these Friday reviews out weekly, and not that I don't have the time, but I kind of don't have the time for doing that. I have so many other things that I'm doing, and I want to make these Friday films or reviews really good. So with all of that being said, yes, that was my review for Jason Goes to Hell. There are a lot of good gory kills in it, but that doesn't always save a movie. The one favorite kill that I will give this movie is, even though I don't like whenever they're having such vigorous, disgusting sex in the tent, it's like, watch porn at this point, dude. Watch porn. I'm sure there's Jason-themed porn out there. Not the point. Anyway, I love how he sticks that thing to her and she goes, splits right up the thing. That, I'll give this movie that. Love that. But yes, this was my thoughts and review of Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell. It's obviously not the final Friday, thank goodness. Because there's like 2 or 3 or 4 more installments after this one, and spin-offs and all that other good shit. But yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. What parts worked for you and what didn't. Do you like that Jason is somewhat in this film? Do you prefer this over part 8? Do you prefer this installment over parts 1 and 5 where he isn't even a killer at all? Like, do you like he's, possessing people? Yeah, let me know. Be sure to go ahead and check out my friends' reviews as part of the Friday the 13th Thank God It's Friday review series that we've been doing every week for about 9 weeks now. That itself deserves a round of applause. I can't even believe how long this has been going on. It's crazy. I can't believe we've all committed to it and we've all been doing it successfully. I've said it so many times now, it sounds tiresome, but bro, I'm gonna keep saying it. I like watching their videos. I like learning whatever I didn't know from them. I'm just new to this franchise and I'm watching it for the first time. Before I started these reviews, I watched them all and then I watched them again before I do my review. And I'm, like I said, I love hearing the stories about what it means to them and when they grew up with it and all of these other aspects. So definitely check out the links down below in the description. I will have them there. They're all my friends, and there are going to be some great videos and stories and things there. They do a bunch of different comedy skits, and I really appreciate that factor. So there's going to be lots of fun stuff there. Please go check that out. Thank you for watching my videos, and be sure to check out some of my other videos. I've done a bunch of different genres, and I plan to do a bunch more. Stick around for next week whenever we're doing Jason X. I'm going to be live streaming that with Chris Snyder, and I'm also going to be dropping my review, so don't worry. And I am going to be doing some live streams with Destiny Faulkner. We are starting our own kind of like live stream show together where we check out a bunch of different like horror movies that we love, or comedies, or like girl movies and action stuff. We've got a bunch of stuff planned where we're at the same age, we have the same interests, same likes, and we will provide you with a lot of laughs. I love getting to know her. I love getting to spend time with her. We have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of jokes, a lot of good energy going back and forth between us. So definitely check those out whenever you can, and I will let you know whenever they're happening. Well, thanks for watching, and like I said, be sure to check out some of my other content. I've even gone to a bunch of different location visits and stuff like that, and gone over some of the items that I have, and be sure to check back for whenever I post something new. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.